What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dylan Talks Tone. It is Wednesday. And we don't usually do a live stream on Wednesday, but I thought this would be kind of fun because we have a new Spark 2 came in yesterday. And I haven't actually opened it yet because I was waiting to do this with y'all. So I figured since I've had all the other ones and there was a very, very kind Patreon member who actually, this is his, it's not mine, who ordered it and had it sent to me so that I could look at it before he gets it. So this is a pretty neat deal. So I guess what we're going to do is let's go ahead and get this thing ripped apart and we'll see what's in here. Yeah, it's going to be kind of fun. Knife of the day is my Sebenza. That's my favorite pocket knife. Let's see what we got going here. I hope everybody's having a pretty good week. And let's see what comes in here. This must be some more Spark than ever. Spark 2, get the Spark app, connect to your Spark. I already have the app on my phone, so we're going to see if we can just plug it in. Or at least, pair it up. Let's see what this is. How this comes out. This must be the power supply. I hope it's not stupid. It looks stupid. Well, okay, I guess you can't have everything. So, we have... I gotta keep all this stuff intact because, like I said, this is not mine, so... give me a second to open this up cleanly. So we can reuse the stuff. Alright, so it does have what I would consider a dumb power supply with the, that bag's not open, or not closed, with a big brick, which maybe makes sense because doesn't this one have a battery in it, so maybe it needs a bigger charger. And then of course we have a USB cable for plugging it up to your computer, and I don't need that because I have one already, so we'll just leave that in there. Alright, and here's the actual thing. Let me see what else is in the box. Hang on. Oh, it's the strap. So, like the other one had a strap goes over it. I'm not going to take that out. I don't find that necessary for testing. I will say it's a higher quality one than the last one. So that's pretty cool. I just hate to cut up all this packaging. I want to open this as cleanly as we can. Alright. So it looks like a Spark. It seems to be very similar in size to the old one. But we have some very different features. Alright, so we've got DC in, USB-C, aux in, line out. Ooh, double 1/4 inch line out. That's neato. And we got a pairing button for our blue tool. And then we've got preset click, gain, bass, mid, treble, master, modulation, delay, reverb, music, and guitar. And these knobs seem very similar to the old ones. Now I do know that this is where we're going to see some difference. because I think this speaker array is very different to the old one. Oh yeah, very different. So we've got base ports in the middle. We've got drivers angled towards the outside. Very cool. That's very different from the old one. Much more similar to the little one, actually. All right. Speaker grill is really nice. Actually, the speaker grill is a lot nicer than the old one. The old one was like this basket weave garbage. It actually wasn't very nice. Right. Let's flip this. Yeah, I can safely flip this over and not break anything. Let's see what we got here. That pops open like so. That comes out, and there's no battery in there. So I wonder if do you have to buy the battery separate? I don't know. I should say that there are links to this in the description. If you use those links, it helps out the channel. Sometimes when you use those links, you get a discount. Not all the time. Just depends on what Positive Grid is doing. So you can check that out. Yeah, so I guess I didn't know that they didn't come with a battery. Unless they did. I just don't see it. But I would say the answer is no. I think somebody alluded to that during the live stream the other night. That it may not actually come with a battery and you have to buy the battery separate. Yeah. Cool. Well, I tell you what. Let's plug this junk in and see what happens. I got some guitars handy, so let's just get some first impressions of it. I'm going to go ahead and good grief. So the most frustrating part of this thing so far is the twisty ties. They suck. Come on, there we go. The twisty ties suck. Alright. Let's get some power to this junk and we'll see what we can come up with. I have a guitar right there. I have a runway audio cable handy. So we will make some noises and see what this thing does. Mine is scheduled for tomorrow. So a bunch of you have already got this thing coming already. This is really cool. Let me just step out of frame here for a second while we plug the power in. Alright. And then, I bet it just makes noise. You don't have to probably power it up to the app. But since I have my phone here and we do have it. Oh, and it's got a nice power button. The old one had a stupid, kind of like a dumb toggle switch. I'm signed out. I'm going to have to remember passwords and crap. I hate that. Alright, well we're going to see if it works without any of that. Got my Texas Toast Challenger. And I've got a sweet one runway audio cable. You can get these. These are exclusive to our website. These are runway audio cables, but this colorway is exclusive to Dylan Talks Tone, if you did not know that. So that's pretty neat. Let's make all these knobs, except for that one, and maybe that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Let's make all these EQ knobs stand straight up, and then we'll probably have to wiggle them because that's the way it works because they're not actually connected to anything. So it fires up and comes to life. And then we come over here to our master volume. Okay, so right off the rip, I'll tell you that in comparison to the old one, It's very, very easy to tell the difference between the old one and the new one as far as the speaker quality. It's still kind of flat EQ-y sounding, but I don't know how fair that is, right? Because we just plugged it in, we've not messed with any presets or anything. Okay, so it is still a little bassy. And so I will say that the knobs work like they're supposed to. So like you have a gain knob and a master volume. So, you know, like you're on a 2 amp, your gain knob would be like your preamp volume or levels, and then your master volume would be like your power side. So if we turn our gain way down and we just go, yeah, it acts really, with the master kind of cranked, it kind of does act. Now I don't know what profile this is because I don't have the app paired up with it. So that's what the master like really cranked all the way up, and then you can turn the master way down and go super preampy. Let's get some reverbs. And some delay, maybe? Let's listen to another profile on here. Let's see what this thing's got. Whoa, loud. So this is one of the things I don't like about these. As you go through the profiles, it like resets all the knobs, and you have to like kind of fiddle with everything to get them. What I mean by that is if you have a treble that's all the way over here, it's not really hooked to the profile. Then you have to go and wiggle it, and then it kind of like hooks it up, which I don't really ever, I don't like that, but. I mean, there you can do all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of sounds in here. I don't really. I want to see what this reverb sounds like. Yeah. Yeah, this is cool, man. So it's the same thing. Now, I know there's a looper in here. I know there's a bunch of new stuff. I haven't obviously just got out of the box. I haven't had time to play with any of it, but. So, first impressions are that I don't know how my guitar works. Okay, first impressions are that it sounds better. It sounds bigger. way more volume that I can share with you right now because I just have a shotgun mic on the camera, and so there's no way for me to even show you how loud this thing goes without like overdriving the mic on the camera. So I would say it's definitely way louder than the old one. The speaker sounds way better. The build quality overall is way better. Of course, it has a battery, even though I don't have the battery. It is battery capable. And of course, there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff in there that once we do the review and learn about it some more and pair up the app and all that stuff, it'll be pretty cool. But I would say right off the rip, even if you have the first one, if depending on what misgivings you have about the first one, chances are the second one is going to fix it. My biggest hang-ups with the first one is the sound of the speakers. They were garbage. This is still not amazing. Personally, I like the Mini better. I think because expectations are different. That's a weird thing to say, but you get this and you're like, oh, it's supposed to be this amazing thing, and it's good, and it's great for what it is, fantastic for what it is. It is a practice amp. You should not expect to plug into this thing and have some kind of just bonkers setup. This is a practice amp, okay? That's what it is. If you don't like it, chances are there's nothing wrong with it. You just have the wrong expectations for the product. That being said, the Positive Grid Mini, your expectations are so much different that I kind of like it better, if that makes sense. That's just me not expecting as much from it. But it's cool. It's cool. I'm going to play around with it some more this week and through the weekend, and probably sometime next week shoot a review on it and, share my overall thoughts. But first thing off the rip, just getting it out of the box, if you don't have one at all, get it. If you do have the old one and you didn't like how it sounded, get it. That's what I would tell you. If you don't like the fact that your big one is not portable and the Mini is too small for you, get it. You know what I mean? So there you go. Let me see if there's any comments through. Let's see. Does it have an external speaker jack so you can hook up a cab? Yes. Spark 2 is 50 instead of 40. Yep. That is correct. It's well worth the money. I agree. I do agree. I can't believe nobody's fixed the volume levels between patches. Yes, I wish they would fix that. I 100% agree. I'm not into all the options, but I set mine up once with the profiles I liked and that I haven't changed anything. So let me tell you how I use this. I don't screw around with a bunch of profiles. And honestly, I don't do that with anything. I have a Kemper over here. It's got 4 profiles that I use. This thing has 4 right here on the knob. Now it has infinite number in the app, right? But I do what Ivan does. I basically set up, and I do it on all of them, actually, because I got the tiny one too. I set up 4 sounds that I like, and I basically do it for different guitars. So I play P90s a lot. I play my Les Paul a lot. And I play a Strat style guitar a lot. So I have like 3 or 4 of these profiles that I've got set up for different guitars that work good with all the different guitars that I usually play. Once they're set up, and it is a little fiddly, once they're set up, then all I do is like, oh, I'm playing my Strat. I just click over to here. Oh, I'm playing my Les Paul. I just click over to here. Do they all work with all guitars? Absolutely. But I just kind of have some sweet spot ones for the various guitars that I play. And that's what I do. And I just leave them alone. I don't ever go into that. Honestly, the app's not even logged in anymore because it's been so long since I've actually messed with it. Because once you get it set up. Now, if you're like a super tinkerer person, like have at it, right? But I'm not. I like the flexibility and the portability of the thing, and I like the idea of it, but I don't use all of the potential of it because I just don't care about that stuff. Let's see. I get option paralysis. Yeah, don't. Just set up a couple of profiles that you like and just use it as a practice amp. Use this thing. Here's the thing. don't buy this for a bajillion features. This is my opinion. Don't buy it for a bajillion features. Don't compare these cheap modeling amps for features. Don't buy them for that. Get the one that you like the form factor of. They'll all sound good enough to be practice amps. Get the one that you like the form factor of, okay? Hey, it fits underneath my coffee table perfectly. Oh, it fits over here perfectly. I have an outlet so I can just plug it in and leave it there. Form factor. They're all going to sound fine for practicing. Get the form factor you like, set up a couple of profiles, and use it as a practice amp. This is not a quad cortex. This is not a Kemper. This is not any of that stuff, right? This is a practice amp. So use it for that. And enjoy the fact that now you can come in your living room, have a few sounds available, and play whenever you want, quiet, straight into the computer, headphones, whatever, and use it for the form factor more than the tones, bro, because it's going to be fine for practicing. That's what I would tell you. I felt like I was spending too much time trying to figure out what was what. See, that's what I'm saying. Just don't do that. Get a couple of good sounds and flip between them. I think people get way too caught up in that stuff. Do they take dirt pedals well? Don't use it for that. That's not what this is. That's not what this is for. This is not for that. This is not for putting a signal chain in front of it. This is not for putting a pedal board in front of it. And I know that there will be people on the internet that do it and they test all that stuff out. I think they're wrong. I think it is what it is. Go in the app, put a dirt pedal in front of an amp that you like, tweak the knobs around. Do not care. This is the other thing. Do not care. Well, I have to set the knob all the way to 7 to get it to sound how I want. That doesn't seem right with how an amp normally is set up. Who cares? Just twiddle knobs until you get it how you want it. Save it. Doesn't matter where the knobs are. It doesn't matter how it relates to reality. This is not that. Now, when you profile a Kemper, an amp for a Kemper, or you profile for like a quad cortex for playing live, those sorts of things, that's different because you're interacting with a whole bunch of different stuff there. This is not that. This is get a sound that you're happy with sitting on the couch. End of story. I would not gig. I know people gig with them. I would not gig with this. I don't think it's good enough for that. It's a practice amp. End of story. So don't overthink this. Don't overthink this. It can be used in a coffee shop for busking. Yeah, as long as tone's not cool. Like, as long as you're like, hey, I need a Van Halen sound, and that's all that matters, and you just like dial in a Van Halen sound because you're in your busking and you're playing in a coffee shop, whatever, the general tone. But don't think that with this thing, you're going to be like, oh, when I slam an E chord, I'm like in total tonal bliss, bro. Like, that's not what this is. This is like, I need to fool some people at the coffee shop that I sound like Van Halen right now. It will do that, right? Like, that's what you want. I'm going to do a cover of a Black Sabbath tune, but I don't want to do it loud. Okay, this kind of sounds like Iron Man. That's what you're doing. You're reasonable facsimile of. Whereas when you're playing a gig with a Kemper, you really want to get everything 100% right. That's why those things cost 5 times as much as this. Because it will do that. This is just reasonable facsimile of. That's kind of my take on them anyway. Would you say this is better for practice in the living or still prefer the Mini? I still prefer the Mini. Honestly, because it's less fiddly. There's one knob. You turn it in and you turn the guitar up and down. 4 clicks for 4 different sounds. End of story. It's less fiddly. I don't like having so many knobs up here and then... So, let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so... Oh, I don't know how my guitar works. I'm not used to having volume, tone in a straight line, and so I don't usually use them separately. I just This is a guitar I kind of leave on 10. Okay, so first of all, if we go and we change profiles, see how the volume's all over the place? It's stupid. Okay, so like let's say we go here. It's just all over the place. Now, let's say so we twiddle some knobs here and we have a weird sound. So let's just see what this sounds like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it sounds like. We're just goofing around. Hang on. Okay. Okay. So now, so here is a sound, right? So if I click away from this and come back to this, it's gone. And now I have to fix it again. And here's what happens. So like, for example, it goes back to 0, whatever the saved profile is. And so if I've twiddled a nut, so like, let's say I take this. Did you hear that little click? That little in there? That's because when I turned the knob, it like went from the preset profile to like clicking over to whatever my knob is set at. I hate that. And this thing does that, and I don't like it at all. It drives me nuts. The other one did too. It's a problem that's not fixed. That's one of the reasons why I don't like this as much. I like the Mini better because you set everything in the app, and then you just have 4 presets, and you don't screw with anything. And I like that better. Anyway, let's see. Also, most importantly, is the black Mini cooler than the white one? I don't know, because I did a custom grill on mine, and it's got my logo on it. So, right, cool. Well, there you go. There's a little rundown on this thing. It's cool, man. It sounds great. It sounds way better than the other one. And if you have the other one, get this one. They got an upgrade thing. There's a link in the description. Do all the things, like, subscribe, share this with other people. Hopefully this gives you there's going to be a bunch of reviews about this, and there's going to be a bunch of people like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever, and look at all the upgrades and all the normal marketing garbage. But I think, hopefully, I'm giving you an actual realistic sort of, marketing versus how you really use these things. That's kind of how I try to do stuff like this. So we'll do a review in the next week or two that will do exactly the same thing. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. We will see you tomorrow for our live stream with me and Leslie.